Hello everyone. So once again welcome to another video from Dr. Ankit Mehta. In today's video I am going to discuss how to configure a DHCP on a wireless router and how to basically play with the DHCP server, and we will see using a packet tracer activity. So this is the packet tracer activity. So in this activity we are going to connect three PCs to a router, right? And we will see how clients obtain the IP addresses automatically from a DHCP server. Okay, so we have this DHCP router, right? So most routers which we use at home, right, they are by default DHCP enabled, right? That means whenever you will connect the router to the network, and whenever your PC will connect to the router, so your router will automatically assign IP to the PCs, right? Because they have this service DHCP enabled by default. And please make sure that you check out my video which I have already made on a DHCP, how DHCP works. I have already made a detailed video, so please make sure that you check out that video. Okay, in this step I am showing like how our home router basically assigns the IP addresses using DHCP. Okay, so this is like typical view of a router, right? Our home router would have these ports which are like Ethernet or LAN ports, right? This is on or off button, and our home router will also have a GUI. Typical GUI would look like this, right? So in which we can play with the DHCP settings, and we have to make sure that the management console which you are accessing on our router, on that the DHCP server is enabled. Okay, so if this service is enabled, your home router, right, will automatically assign an IP because this service is enabled. Okay, you can also give the range of IPs, like what range of IPs you need, right, and how many users you want to connect to your network. So if you click this, you should be able to see here the DHCP server basically maintains a table in which everything is mapped, as I have covered in the DHCP video in detail. So the DHCP server or the home router will keep tally of everything, like which IP addresses are assigned, which are remaining, and which are assigned to which MAC addresses. Okay, here you can also manually add everything, but as we discussed in the static assignment of IPv4, this is very cumbersome task. So make sure that you also check out that video on static and dynamic assignment. Okay, so here beginning with this activity, so here we are going to connect first three pieces to the wireless router. Okay, so let's, and then change the DHCP setting to a specific network range, right? You can also change to a specific network range that you want to assign IPs from this range to this range. Okay, and then we will see how our clients obtain IPs from the DHCP server, right, or like a home router. So now background and scenario, right? A home user wants to use a wireless router to connect three pieces. All three pieces should obtain their address automatically from the wireless router. Okay, so this is a activity. Okay, let me first add pieces, right? 1, 2, 3, right? This is the demand or one of these steps. Add three generic pieces. Okay, and now you have to connect three pieces using wired connection to this router. See, DHCP will also work if you are connecting wirelessly, right? But for the purpose of this activity, I am connecting using three wires, right? But the process will also remain the same, right? So there is no change in the process, irrespective of the fact that whether you are connecting using the wired mean or the wireless mean. Okay, so here we are going to you go to connections, and then you will select copper. We will select copper straight through cable, and we will connect using fast Ethernet 0 port to gigabit Ethernet 1 port, correct? So this is like amber light. That means this connection is not up and running. So once this become up and running, we should be able to see a green light over here. If you are not seeing, then fast forward this time. Now you will see. Okay, so keep on fast forwarding this time, then you should be able to see a green light over here. Okay, so in the same manner we will connect other two PCs as well with this, router which is DHCP enabled. Okay, so now we have connected. So now we can also fast forward. Okay, now let's come to the next step. After the amber lights have turned green, click PC 0 and desktop tab. Okay, we go to this PC, correct? Right, so now we have gone to this PC, we have gone to the desktop tab. Okay, so the same desktop tab should also will also reflect as I have covered in the static and dynamic assignment. Make sure that you check that video. If you go to the IP configuration, here it is by default statically, right? So make sure that you choose this window. Select DHCP to receive the IP address from DHCP enabled router. Okay, so since we need to get an IP address, so you select this option. So once you select this option, it is going to request IP from the DHCP server, and I have already covered that 4 steps are always followed. DORA, right? Discover, offer, request and acknowledge. Okay, so make sure that you check out that video, correct? So now what is the next step? Record the IP address of the default gateway. So the IP address of my default gateway is what? 192.168.0.1. okay, so now we will go to the web browser and we will go with using this default gateway IP address 192.168.0.1. okay, so if everything is good, you should get this window, admin and admin. The username and my password are same. Okay, so once you enter this management console, go to setup and you should see something like this, right? So this is also my router IP and the default gateway. So default gateway is IP address of one of the interfaces of my router. Okay, and we also can use the default gateway IP address to access the management console of my router at your home network. Okay, like I am doing in this way. Okay, so now you can see admin and admin. What is the next step? Scroll through the basic and see including the default IP address, right? This is a default IP address. So my DHCP server is enabled by default, right? You go to DHCP reservation, you would be able to see various IP addresses which are being used, right? And which are being mapped to a particular MAC address. Okay, make sure that you see this. Then the starting range and the range of the addresses available to the clients. Okay, we can also reduce or increase this number, right? Let's suppose I want to reduce it to 25, right? Make sure that you go and save to this settings, right? So it will automatically save. Let's come to the next step. Part 3, right? Now I want to change the default IP address. So if I go to over here, I want to change the default IP address of my IP, right? So now I want to change the default IP address of my router, right? So I will change to 192.168.5.1, right? So now I am changing my default gateway IP address. Okay, so now let's see what happens once I go and change this and I save setting, right? We have to log here back again, right? So see, it became amber again, right? Because now everything will happen all over again, correct? So now I go again to configuration, go to static and go again back to DHCP, correct? So it will take some time because everything will happen over again because I have changed my basic router IP address to 192.168.5.1. okay, DHCP request failed because everything is not updated. Now since everything got updated, so you should see DHCP request successful, right? So now if you see properly, your default gateway has become 192.168.5.1, right? But previously, if you would have noticed, our default gateway was 192.168.0.1. Why? Because if I go to the web browser, my router IP address was like 192.168.0.1. Since I have changed that IP, so my default gateway has become this. Now I will use this default gateway IP address to access the management console of my router. Okay, so let me show you what happens if I try using my previous address, nothing will happen. You keep on pressing enter, nothing will happen, correct? But if you enter the right IP address, then you should see this window, right? The authorization window will automatically, it should pop up as soon as everything is good as far as the default IP address is concerned, right? You enter admin, and here we come back to the same window again, right? Here we see that since we have changed this, so the IP address which we use to access the management console will also change. Okay, we should keep this thing in mind. Now the next step is what? Start IP address, right? Notice the DHCP start IP is updated to the same network as the router IP. Okay, so now we are going to state, now in this step, in part 4, in step B, we want our IPs to start from 192.168.5.126 instead of this IP. Okay, so we will update this over here. We want to start it with this IP 192.168.5.126. and how many IPs we want, how many users we want? 75. Okay, so we will put 75 over here. Okay, once we do that, we go and click save settings. Okay, so if everything is good, we have to go back, right? Go to static and log, and it will get a new IP, right? So let me show you. This PCs will get, all the 3 PCs will get a new IP, right? Because I have changed, because I want to configure in such a manner that my this PC 0 begins an IP with this IP address 192.168.5.126 instead of this IP address. Okay, failed. Let us do it again, right? DHCP request successful, correct? So let me open this again. Let me close this. IP static, yeah, so now it got updated. So you can see earlier it was getting an IP address 192.168.5.100, right? But since I wanted this PC to have this IP address to start from I wanted my DHCP server to start from this IP address 192.168.5.126, right? So we can see that our first IP address is this 192.168.5.126. Okay, let us also reconfirm this thing. How we can reconfirm? Let us go to command prompt of this PC. Okay, once we go to the command prompt, type this command ipconfig/all. Okay, so what IP this PC is getting? IPv4 address is what? 192.168.5.126. Okay, so now this means that my DHCP server is configured properly, right? Now let's do the same thing on our next PC, which is PC1. So we go to desktop, IP configuration. Okay, so we can see here it is static, which is by default for PC1. So we will select DHCP, right? And the DHCP server will give the next available address, which is like 192.168.5.127. Okay, because my 5.126 IP address is being used, right? And once I enable the DHCP for this, we will see it becomes 5.128. Okay, here one of the things which I want you to make sure that the default gateway will be the same for this PC1 as well, for PC01 as well, and for PC2 as well, right? Because default gateway is the IP address of one of the interfaces of router, right? So the default gateway will always be the same for every device which is connected to a particular router in a particular network. Okay, so now let's do the same thing for my PC2. If we go to desktop, we select IP configuration, static by default, we select DHCP, and here we will see it will get an IP address which ends with 5.128. Okay, here the default gateway will be the same. Okay, and let's also confirm everything in command prompt by using this command ipconfig let us do for this PC first. For PC1, go to command prompt and type this command ipconfig space /all. Okay, so we get this IP address, right? 192.168.5.127, and my default gateway is this 192.168.5.1. Okay, let's do the same thing for my PC2 as well, right? We go over here, ipconfig space /all. Okay, so here we can see that our IPv4 address is what 192.168.5.128, right? And my default gateway is what 192.168.5.1. okay, same thing is done, right? Enable DHCP on other PCs. PC1 we have done. Desktop tab, IP configuration, click DHCP, right? Close the configuration window. We have already done that, right? Similarly for PC2, select the desktop tab, command prompt, enter ipconfig, right? We have already done. Enter ipconfig, we have already done, right? Till this step I have shown you everything. Now let's come to this step, right? Let's see whether do we have connectivity or not, right? Let's see for all the PCs. We go to command prompt, desktop, right? Let's see. Once ping 192.168.5.1. okay, so we are getting pinging, right? That means we have this connectivity. Let's see, do we have connectivity to other PCs on the network which are also connected to the same router 192.168.5.127, right? Yes, I do have connectivity from my PC 0 to PC 1, right? Because I'm getting reply of pinging, right? Let us also check for my next PC, which is this one, right? So again, I have the internet connectivity, right? So we see I have the internet connectivity. So let's also do this, quickly do this task for other PCs. Go to PC1, close this, go to command prompt, right? Let's quickly check whether I have connectivity to my router. I should have, right? If I don't have, then I won't be able to get an IP address from my router, because my router is also acting as a DHCP server, right? But for the purpose of our steps and our confidence, I'm showing you, right? Let's see whether I have connectivity to 126, because the IP address of this PC is 127. Yes, I do have. Let's quickly check whether I have connectivity to 128. Yes, I do have. Okay, so let me quickly also show you for the next PC, which is my PC2, right? Let me open this, right? Let me ping my let me first ping router, ping 192.168.5.1. okay, so since I am getting reply of my ping command, so I have connectivity to my router, right? So since I am sitting at PC2, let me try to ping PC 0, right? The IP address of PC 0 is what? Ping 192.168.5.126. okay, we press enter. Do I have internet connectivity? Yes, I do have, because I'm getting back the reply, right? So now let me also quickly ping my next PC, which is .127. Do I have internet connectivity to .127 PC? Yeah, I do have. Okay, so that means everything is working perfectly fine, correct? And all the pings are successful. Okay, so that is what I wanted to show you using the packet tracer in this activity. So I hope you are able to get and you are able to successfully complete your activity. So make sure you check my other videos as well, and please subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.